Good morning. So, we're in the garage again, and today we're going to look at the Goldwing a little more. The goal for today is to get the engine out of the frame, and we've got a problem with the frame, and I'll show you that here in a little bit. But at the moment, we're trying to talk about the modifications that we're going to make to the frame once we get the engine out. And in order for us to do that, we need to put a lot of stuff back on it to get an idea of how it's going to sit and where we're going. So, do you have anything you want to add to that before we take off?
So Adam's idea is one, he wants to be able to stand more flat-footed on the ground. So we need to either lower the bike, lower the seat height, and there's a combination of things to go along with that.
That's because I'm short.
Kagan sympathizes.
Yeah.
So anyways, so in order to lower the seat height, we either need to do a flat pan here, which may actually be enough just doing a flat pan versus factory seat.
Right.
Or, this is where we got to put stuff back on and check it out. Because the original tank was here, the gas tank, and the seat, where's that seat at? Right here. The seat has got this large belly built into it, right here. It's where the gas tank was in here. So when it set in here, it allowed room for the gas tank. So by doing away with that belly and doing a flat pan here, that would actually lower Adam's seat height a good 3 inches or more.
And that might be enough.
And that might be enough. Plus, before we start taking this bike apart, I actually lowered these shocks down to the lowest setting for compression. Of course, we're pulling a lot of more weight off the bike. There's a lot of things that's not going to be here that used to be. This bike will be lighter, which also means faster. Same horsepower, less weight. So we've got to do a little bit of investigation here. And another thing I know we're going to do is Adam would like to run a standard gas tank here. Now, for a lot of you guys who don't know this, and the video where we took the gas tank out of here, your Goldwings from the late 70s and several other ones, Shadows too. This is not the gas tank. You put gas in here, but it has a neck that goes down the gas tank here. What looks like the gas tank on them are just body panels, and it's all for show.
Yep, and so if you watch the video of the gas tank removal, that is the gas tank, and its position was right here in front of the back tire. That is where it's set.
So we would like to put a standard gas tank on here, and in order to do that, we have to put a bar in right here and get rid of these bars so we can develop a standard backbone for the frame for the gas tank to sit on. Now that's probably also going to involve changing this radiator neck some, maybe, I don't know, depends on where we mount the tank at.
Yeah, just so you can get an idea, here's your radiator cap, and we're wanting to put a tank right here, a regular tank. So that's going to have to probably be repositioned or some thought process put in. Not sure yet.
So we're going to do a lot of investigation today, and then we're going to start tearing it apart.
Yep. So here, it's so you guys can see what we're working with. I'm going to get up on the bike where it sits. You get an idea of what it looks like with the drag bars. So maybe we can see how that works out. Here, hold the camera for me.
Woohoo! Upgraded. Cameraman now.
So I want the drag bars, and I want to be able to sit on the bike very similar to where it is now. But when you put a seat on here, it's going to raise butt up.
About 3 inches.
And then we're not where I want to be. So we've got to figure out how to drop this down. Flat pan seat, not sure. And then again, with the whole short thing, I got to figure out how this is going to work with a new seat. Because foot pegs can be in the way, and I'm short, and you see how all that works. And like Ben was saying a minute ago, everything you change affects something else. So we got to think this through a little bit.
You can't lower the shock. You can't shorten the shocks and lower the bike suspension-wise and lower the seat without having a danger of it running into each other. So, got to think through everything.
Here we go. Let's get started.
So the thing is I'm measuring the peak of the tire here, right for a clearance issue. But if you come back just a little bit and put your lights back here,
might be able to make it work.
Your clearance issue changes here than what it is here.
Right.
But now you're back on me.
I know.
I personally think for a 2-seater motorcycle, I would leave this the shit alone. This gets you your seat pan mounts right here, and then we'll dress the back of this up to make that seat pan look good, and that will involve your tail light.
So for those of you who are curious what we're talking about, I want to come off the center of the back tire and cut right here and cut that back bolt hole off. Just so it kind of it's a mix between a cafe racer and a bobber. So you're kind of bobbing out the back tire, but not really. So you got a lot of it visual. And I'm talking about a 2-inch cut here, and Ben says I should leave it alone because we have a clearance issue.
I just come up with an idea that I think I can convince you of.
Okay.
But I need your rear fender mounting hardware. We need to mount the rear fender on here.
So are we still going with the idea we talked about?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so what the plan is, or what we're thinking, is we're going to take the rear fender and cut the rear fender off, clean the chrome off of it, and then make a seat pan off of that rear fender starting right here and let the seat pan come down. This way we gain the clearance we need between the rear seat and the back tire, and we can get a flatter seat pan to make this more of a low profile. Again, because I'm short-legged and I got to get closer to the ground. But while you guys were away, we took and lowered the front end 3/4 of an inch, and we had some issues getting it off. So you can see we used a ratchet strap, pulled down against the front shock, get them out of there about 3/4 of an inch, and that dropped the front end of this bike down a little bit.
Yeah, so when I first loosened this bolt here and this Allen wrench here, or this Allen bolt, when I first loosened them, we couldn't slide it up in there. I couldn't force it. Adam tried bouncing the front of the bike. We couldn't do that. So I took the ratchet strap to apply even pressure to it to get it up in there. This one actually came up a little taller first. So once I got it to 3/4 of an inch, I went ahead and tightened these back down, and then tightened it down some more until this other side slid up to 3/4 of an inch, and then tightened it down. So now we've effectively lowered the front of the bike a total of 3/4 of an inch.
Something I forgot to mention earlier, I'll go ahead and talk about it now since we're this far in. If you can notice, I've got a different set of handlebars on here than maybe the last time you've seen this.
If you follow our Instagram, you would know that.
And the one thing I like about these, Kagan, put your hand on the end of that because it might be hard to see in the camera. Right there's the end, and then they run pretty much dead even with that big 4-cylinder pan head. What is it? It's not a
Pancake. It's
pancake. That's the word I'm looking for. It's pancake style. The cylinders are laying flat.
It's kind of a Volkswagen style engine. It's a 4H is what they refer to it as. It's kind of like a Subaru or anything else.
Yeah, but for looks, I like those drag bars because the handlebars and the motor are about dead even on both sides. So the front profile of this bike is pretty sweet. It's going to look sick when we're done. But anyway, something that I didn't get on camera, I took the headlight off, headlight's gone, instrument cluster, handlebars. Those are some things that I have done. And right now, we've pretty much got a plan together. We've got the bike profile where we want it. We know what we're going to do with the frame, we think. So we got to get the engine off.
Well, I'm going to mount the rear fender on to try and convince you of what needs to happen with the back section. And then, yes, we're going to start stripping this thing down completely to the frame.
All right, so let's get to work.
So that opens up more possibilities. We can slam this thing on the ground another inch.
So that's what we've been talking about. You see it right here is the side profile. You can see that's the line.
It's a rough drawn line.
Rough drawn line, but we're talking about bobbing the fender where I was talking about cutting it straight off so you could see more back tire. But I think I like the idea of this because essentially what I want to do is put a little bitty short front fender on here that only covers, about that much of the tire just for looks. So that's where we're at. Now that we have a plan,
it's time to take a bike.
it's time to take a bike apart. So we're going to be working, getting the engine off the frame so we can see what we're working with as far as the engine is concerned. And then we also know that we've got a section of frame, which once we get the engine off, I'm sure I'll show you, we got a section of frame that needs some help. So stay tuned. All right, let's take a minute here to look at where we've gotten so far. You will notice that the final drive, the swing arm, rear axle is all off. We got the center stand taken off, which we ended up cutting a piece right here to get the center stand off. This
the rod that was in the center stand was home.
Yeah, it wasn't coming out. This is all going to get cut off. We are not putting the center stand back on it.
Currently, right now, I'm taking the clutch cover off because I'm going to remove the clutch cable. That way it's not hanging off the engine when we remove it. And this should be enough to...
And Kagan's up here working on the radiator shroud, some piece of it. So we have removed the radiator and the fan, and we've got all this gone now.
Wiring harness is nice and tucked back too.
Oh yeah, Kagan did get the wiring harness mostly off there. So just a little walk around of where we're at currently. We're getting everything tidied up, removing everything we need, and then we're gonna take this pancake style 4-cylinder off this frame.
You keep saying pancakes, you're gonna make me hungry.
Well, you know, it is about lunchtime, so maybe it's about time for bender fuel.
Sounds good to me.
All right. So we like to learn the hard way, and we had this thing all ready to go and then realized that
That was going to make that a lot easier to fix.
well, we realized that this whole section of frame that Ben's holding, okay, I say we, Kagan realized that that whole section of frame unbolts and comes off so the engine can come out. We were unaware of this until recently. So,
And if
just
you didn't even want to fix this, I bet you could find one of these for sale online.
probably, we might look
the
for
fault?
that. So anyway, seeing that, you can notice that we got a big old rust hole there. That's part of the frame problem.
There's some right in here too. We're going to have to patch.
But knowing that this is a section of frame that comes out, I might be able to find that now.
It's not that bad though. We might be able to just fix it. It'll be up to you.
Okay, well, there it is. We're going to finish getting the motor out now. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is a 1000 cc Honda engine, pancake style, flat cylinders, that really needs a bath, that is no longer residing in the frame. So we're going to do some work. We'll tear that engine down a little bit, take the valve covers off, clean it up, give it a nice bath. Ooh, Kegan's got the timing chain. Let's take a look at that right here.
That's the timing belt.
Timing belt. I thought it was a chain. Looks like it's in pretty good shape, really. Anyway, we're going to clean this up. We're going to dress the frame up, make our edits that we're making. We'll get it all back together and see what happens. Thanks for tuning in. If you like this video, hit like and subscribe. Follow us on Facebook, Rinse Benders. Instagram.
And on Facebook and Instagram, you kind of get little tidbits of what's coming before the videos get let out. So if you want to get that inside sneak peek, follow us on social media and you'll kind of get a taste of what's coming down the pipe.
Thanks for watching. Have a good day. See you guys.